Good morning, guys. In this video, we're going to be turning this into hard cider and apple cider vinegar. These are some apples from trees right here on the property. We've got a bunch of old apple trees strewn down the edge of the field. I'm a little late getting to it, but there's still some apples, and I'm hopeful I can get a good-sized bucket of cider to turn into hard cider, and then the grindings and what's left over after we press it will turn into apple cider vinegar. Stay tuned. Now to get started with this style of press, we line it with a brew bag. You just kind of fold it over the edges. And this one's got a grinder built right into it. You just put your hopper directly underneath that grinder. Just like that. And let all the grindings fall right into there. Then when we press it, we'll have the bucket underneath and it'll come right out the hole in the bottom. Wild fermented apple cider, some of the best hard cider that I've ever had. Sometimes if you let it age a little bit, it gets even better. Still got a lot of apples to go. Yellow jackets. Now we're really going to start pressing. It should just start to run out of there. I'm going to pour this directly into a brew bucket through a filter just to get some of the stuff out. There. You don't want to go too fast. Let it kind of catch up with itself. I've actually broken the bands on this before by trying to squeeze too much out. Nice dark cider. For the next part, we're going to put some grindings in the bucket. That'll be the apple cider vinegar. I'm going to do about 2/3 of a bucket of grindings, about 2 cups of sugar, and then I'm going to top it off with water and let that sit for about a month or month and a half, and then take a look at it and see how it's doing. You don't want to seal this bucket. I'll cover it with some cheesecloth, or just put the lid on it very loosely, but it's got to have oxygen. You want to stir it quite frequently, kind of get it oxygenated, exactly the opposite that you will do with the hard cider. You don't want any air getting in this. You don't want to touch this. You want to let this ferment. The apple cider vinegar, you want to stir it, just kind of aerate it, and let the oxygen get to it and kind of work its magic. Acetobacter is what makes the apple cider vinegar. They eat the alcohol and turn it to vinegar. To begin with, it'll actually ferment into alcohol. The yeast that's in the apples will convert all the sugar that's in there. That's why I add the couple cups of sugar just to give the yeast a kickstart. Turns it to alcohol, and then that constant, every little bit, I'll stir it up and let the oxygen get to it, and the acetobacter will take over and eat the alcohol and convert that over to vinegar. Probably going to be quite heavy. There's a lot of apples in here. I'll just go ahead and dump a bunch of these in. The rest of them will go to the chickens. Of course, this bucket was sanitized too. I always start by sanitizing everything. Just gives you a good start so you don't accidentally introduce something that you don't want. It's about good. The rest of this will go to the chickens. They'll love it. Now for the apple vinegar. Got about 2/3 of a bucket of grindings, 2 cups of sugar. I'm sure there's a lot of juice in the bottom by now too. It's been sitting for a little bit. There's still quite a bit of juice in these apples. 2 cups of sugar. And then I'm simply going to top it off with water. Like I said, you'll want to stir this quite frequently over the next few weeks just to kind of get everything going. One other thing that I forgot to mention, I'm going to take a dinner plate, ceramic dinner plate, and I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to press it down and push it down into the liquid to keep the apples below the level of the water. That kind of keeps any mold from growing on the apples. So you want to do that, and then you just pull that out and then stir it up real good every few days. Makes the best tasting vinegar for marinades and salad dressings. I use it a lot when I'm doing smoked chicken. I cut the barbecue sauce with apple cider vinegar. Adds a really nice color. That's probably good for now. Oh, it's starting to come out. These must be pretty juicy. This is really flooding the tray. Chickens will probably get some of the apple grindings too. Looks like we'll get a little more out of this one. Some of the juice might have still been left in the apples that were left on the bottom too, which I'll have to dump out for the next. We're getting pretty full. There, we'll just let that drain out, and that'll be it for this one. It's about another gallon, so we've got about 2 gallons total right now. The yellow jackets are really having a feast down there. They really appreciate what I'm doing today. Gives them some fall sustenance. Really warm day today. It's actually in the 70s. It's been cold the last couple of weeks. Mornings have been in the 20s. So this is kind of nice to be able to be outside in a t-shirt again. Sunshine. Really nice fall day. Quite a workout cranking this thing. This is like, I think, batch number 6 right now. Maybe it's 5. I can't remember. Probably going to be it after this bucket for the hard cider. I do have more apples to grind, but getting a little tired. Everything's getting really sticky. There you have it, a beautiful bucket of cider. About 4.5 gallons in here. We're going to put the airlock on it and let it ferment and turn to hard cider. I mean, you could drink it as is, but this should make some really good hard cider. Now the airlock, like I said, we're going to put a little bit of vodka in there. I have right here. This has all been sanitized. I had it set aside. A clean bucket. Pop that off. We're just going to pour a little bit of this in here. You want it to be at that level right there, the midpoint. Let's snap that back on. This brew bucket already has a hole in it. It's designed specifically for brewing, so we'll snap that on. And there's yeast naturally present on these apples, any apples really. So I'm not even going to worry about adding any yeast to this. I have added brewer's yeast in the past. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But yeah, we'll seat the airlock in the hole really good. And we'll just put this somewhere warm, probably in the store in the back room, and let it ferment for about 1.5 weeks. And stay tuned for part 2 of this video. There'll probably be a part 3 too, because the vinegar takes a little longer, and we'll sample everything and kind of take a look at the final product. But that's it for now. If you found any value in this video, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. We could always use more subscribers. I like doing content, and it makes it worthwhile when people enjoy what I do. Have a great day.